Suppose someone handed you a 9-step plan to live forever. Not in heaven, here, now. A detailed scientific roadmap, supplements, diet protocols, future biotech that promises to reverse aging and keep your body running indefinitely. That's exactly what Ray Kurzweil and Terry Grossman did in their book called Transcend, 9 Steps, 1 Promise. You don't have to die. I need to stop right there because that sentence, you don't have to die, it's not a medical claim. It's a theological one, and it's the oldest lie in the book. Kurzweil takes roughly 400 pages to make his case. Reprogram your biochemistry, override your genetic code, treat aging like a software bug, something you patch and not something you accept. He's not just speculating, he's dosing. He takes over 100 supplements a day. He tracks every biomarker like a stock portfolio. His goal is simple. Live long enough to reach the point where technology advances faster than age. Then you win. Death loses forever. Here's what I want you to hear. That vision is not crazy. It's coherent. It's detailed. It's funded. And millions of people are already living by it, whether they've read the book or not. The fear of death is the most reliable motivator in human history. Kurzweil didn't invent that fear. He just gave it a supplement regimen. But here's what Kurzweil won't tell you, because he can't. What if the real problem is that you were already dead before you ever picked up that first bottle of pills? Romans 6:23 doesn't negotiate. The wages of sin is death. Not the wages of aging, not the wages of bad genetics, death. And you don't fix a wage problem with nutrition. This is where the Christian parent has to get crystal clear. The world is going to hand your children a story that says death is a technical glitch, an engineering failure. We can solve it with enough data and enough supplements. That story sounds compassionate. It sounds hopeful. It sounds like science finally catching up to human longing. But it's not new. It's Genesis 3 with better branding. You will not surely die. The serpent didn't say there was no God. He said God was holding that out, that the fruit could give you something God was keeping for himself. Kurzweil 9 steps are the same fruit. Packaged for the 21st century. The appeal hasn't changed. The lie hasn't either. Now we must handle the next part with biblical precision. The Bible does not tell you to preserve your life. It tells you to lose it. Look at Matthew 16:25. Whoever wants to save their life will lose it. For my sake will find it. That is not an invitation to health optimization. That is an invitation to the cross. Kurzweil wants you to extend your life. Jesus tells you to lay it down. Here's the hard truth. You cannot out-supplement sin. You cannot biohack your way past Hebrews 9:27. It is appointed unto man once to die, and after this, judgment. Your expiration date is not a design flaw. It's a feature of a fallen world that God is redeeming, not upgrading. Click the link in the description below. It's the Family Firewall Masterclass, your practical guide to building the spiritual and digital boundaries in your home. Your children need a framework for navigating these claims before they're encountered with them. The masterclass gives you that. All right. But the righteousness code doesn't stop at a diagnosis, because here's the truth. Knowing what Kurzweil gets wrong is not the same as knowing what your family is called to do about it. The responsibility code says deny, discipline, faithful, restore. That means the first word, deny self, not preserve self, not optimize self, deny. Kurzweil's entire framework is built on self-preservation. The cross is built on self-denial. Those two things cannot coexist. That is not a lifestyle choice. That is a fork in the road. So let me put it in plain terms. If your children watch you spend more energy optimizing your lifespan than cultivating your soul, they will learn the wrong lessons. Not because you said the wrong things, because you modeled the wrong priority. Deny self. That's the first step. It costs nothing and everything at the same time. Now, I'm not saying don't take care of yourself. That's different than what this whole video is about. Yes, we are to be good stewards of our body and take care of ourselves. But let's go deeper with this. The Courage Code says anchor. Anchor in God's authority when the world promises a man-made immorality. The anchor holds because of what it's attached to, God's word. Not because you're smart enough to see through Kurzweil's arguments. Not because you're strong enough to resist the fear of death on your own, because you are tethered to a truth that doesn't move. It never moves. And the Honesty Code says purity. Reject the deception that you can purify yourself through technology. That is not purity. That is a supplement stack dressed up like righteousness. True purity doesn't come from cleaning up your biomarkers. It comes from the blood of Christ. One is measurable in the lab. The other is only measurable at the cross. 5 codes, 4 pillars, 1 mission. And the mission, the raising of a generation of righteous warriors, that mission does not fail. Kurzweil wants you to believe that you can cheat death with pills and protocols. That's just the warm-up, because his next book, he goes further, much further. He says technology just won't extend your life. It will create a future where God is obsolete, a man-made paradise. The singularity is near.